Did you know Thor Ragnarok is the reason Thor Love and Thunder failed? When everyone thought Thor the Dark World was the worst film in the franchise, Marvel proved them wrong by releasing Thor 4. Besides, I have some Thor 5 updates that don't feel too good. Thor Ragnarok was a box office hit, collecting over $885 million worldwide. When I say this movie was the reason for its sequel's failure, it is true. Both Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder were directed by Taika Waititi. Thor Ragnarok achieved enormous success due to its feel-good humor.
Thor, son of Odin.
Son of a bitch.
The action scenes and CGI played a major role in its success too. The glowing eyes of Thor, his cinematic fight with Hulk, and the climax battle without his hammer showcased Thor's true powers. This was the film where we saw a funny yet stronger Thor. The characters in the film, aside from Thor, were also well developed. We saw another side of Loki beyond just being a serious villain, and Thor and Loki joined forces to fight Hela. Yet Thor 4, despite being directed by the same person, was terrible. When Marvel decided to make Thor Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi was assigned as the director. Since he knew the strengths of his last film, he added even more of those elements in the sequel. However, he went overboard with the humor, turning it into a waterfall where people started drowning. The humor didn't feel the same as it did in the previous film due to its excessive use. Thor wasn't meant to be funny all the time. Though he did show some anger, it didn't fit well. The CGI wasn't perfect either. For example, the scene where Heimdall's son talks with Thor featured such bad CGI that it received heavy criticism, leading to slight improvements in the OTT release. The color grading of the film was too bright and vibrant compared to Thor Ragnarok, making the whole movie feel like it was only targeted at kids. Thor Ragnarok already had the perfect color grading. No character was developed much aside from Jane. We all know this was the period when Marvel intensely focused on introducing more female lead characters than male ones, which actually backfired at the box office. It's fine to bring Jane back, but what about the nerfing of other characters? The funny thing is that not only was Thor nerfed in this film, but other major characters like Zeus and even Gorr the God Butcher were too. They had every opportunity to portray Zeus as a powerful threat, yet they decided to turn him into a cheap clown. When it comes to Gorr, the decisions were even worse. Gorr was a god killer, not a kidnapper, yet in the movie, he abducts children just to lure Thor to him. They not only failed to utilize Gorr's potential, but also wasted Christian Bale's talent. Marvel used Bale as nothing more than an advertising figure. That said, I can't say I dislike Thor 4 entirely. I still love the scene where we see Loki's tattoo on Thor's back, reminding us how much Thor loves his brother despite everything. Thor Ragnarok set a standard that Thor 4 was supposed to achieve, but they messed it up by adding unnecessary elements and failing to write a proper script. You may ask, what about Thor's nerfing in previous films? Yes, they made Thor fat in Endgame, but that was to show his grief over failing to kill Thanos in Infinity War. I love how Infinity War perfectly showcased Thor's power in the climax, where he stabs Thanos even when he is all 6 stones. Though Thor was overweight in Endgame, the movie still showed how conscious he was during battle. We see him repeatedly aiming for Thanos' head in the fight. Thor has lived longer than most Avengers and has seen many wars, which is why he was able to fight back even in that form. Also, Thor was originally depicted as being fat in Norse mythology. Now, coming to Thor 5, it's reportedly in development. Both Chris Hemsworth and the studio have confirmed the project's progress. Nice news, right? However, the studio is actively searching for a new director, which means the chances of Taika Waititi returning for a comeback are very low. Rumors suggest a tonal shift, with expectations of a darker narrative. Fans hope to see the introduction of characters like Beta Ray Bill, Thor Korr, and Amora the Enchantress. Casting rumors include Natalie Portman returning as Jane and Ben Affleck as Dario Agger. While these rumors come from reputable sources, Marvel has yet to confirm them. Hey, if you haven't seen me in a while, it's because my old channel got deleted. Your subscription and likes mean a lot, so subscribe and leave a comment.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.